well, my assumption is you've all read all 3 chapters already.
Of course.
Okay.
Always.
So, if you have, you're in great shape. Take the review. If you haven't, at this point in time, take the review, what we talk about today, go back to reference at least in those 3 chapters, those sections that cover the terms and concepts we'll talk about today. And then you'll be in good shape for the exam. And by design, we're doing this on Thursday to give you extra days to study instead of we're doing Tuesday and exam on Thursday. That means if you have any questions when you're studying, even over the weekend, call me or email me, I'm available. I want you all to get that.
Is that where you?
All right, let's talk about strategic planning. What is strategic planning?
It focuses on the vision of the organization for 10 to 20 years.
Yeah, you know, it's the process of envisioning your future and developing operations to carry out that vision. The textbook talks about how Best Buy at their corporate headquarters had this simulated hospital bed. And they had pictures or placards of Kmart and Sears there. And they said this is where retailers go when their strategy gets set. Trying to emphasize that it's your strategic it's your strategic vision that sets the direction of the company, the organization. Competitive advantage. You know, it's what you do that your competitors can't copy. What do you do that's uniquely wow? How do you achieve market superiority over your customers, or excuse me, competitors? Now, because I want you all to do very well, I'm going to recommend that you look at page 201, when that lists specific characteristics of competitive advantage. Things like durability, unique characteristics, things that are difficult to emulate.
What page did you say that was?
201.
The list is on 208 and 209.
Okay. Thank you.
You're talking about the 6 characteristics, right? Is that what you're saying?
Performance, features, reliability, durability, and aesthetics.
That's product design.
Oh,
Strike 3.
pretty great.
So you're ahead. You're ahead of the curve there.
You are talking about the 6 characteristics so that,
Those are the 6 characteristics of product design.
okay, yeah, that's 201. That's why I was asking.
Okay. Look at 201 and 203 is what I'm recommending. 208, as you said. On page 201, you're going to find specifics of competitive advantage. On page 208, you're going to find qualities of product design. That's where you're going to find reliability, durability, aesthetics, as you indicate. But in between those two, we have another term, and that's value. And when we refer to value, what we're talking about is quality relative to price. Quality relative to price.
So 208 is the product design. Okay, just that.
And then dimensions of service design are on page 212. Could I spoon feed you more than this, you guys?
I'm not answering.
So take a look at that. Those are things like having empathy and responding quickly and assurance. So rather than have you write down, let's write the book, just make sure you review those qualities that you'll find on page 212.
And that's reliability, assurance, tangible, empathy, and stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep. Option-oriented products. Those are unique configurations of sub-assemblies designed to fit together and selected by the customer.
Can you say it again?
Yep. Unique configurations of sub-assemblies designed to fit together and selected by the customer. Cycle time is the time to complete one portion of a process.
One portion of a product?
Process.
Process. Management and planning tools, those we talked about in this class and in OM 52. It's everything from the affinity diagrams to the tree diagrams. And you will find those starting on page 232. And make sure you understand, you can articulate what the management and planning tools are.
Everything from what?
Oh, we talked about affinity diagrams, tree diagram. There's 7 primary management and planning tools, right? Okay. So what's a core competency? What do you think, Robert?
It's like the thing you do the best.
Yeah, it's what you do, what you have greatest expertise in, yeah. That's your source of sustainable competitive advantage, your core competency, what it is you do that you do best, like Robert said, that makes you, that you do uniquely well. So then when we talked about outsourcing, we said outsourcing, anything is a candidate for outsourcing that isn't part of your core competency. And outsourcing is transferring that portion of your business or function to someone outside of the firm. Like Western Illinois University has outsourced our security to the company that provides the folks that monitor the parking lots and let me in my office when I forget my keys. Which I don't do anymore because I poke-yoke, right? How did I poke-yoke?
What are the car keys?
Exactly, I can't get there without. So what's vertical integration? It's the idea of perhaps you're gonna purchase key suppliers. It says you're gonna integrate into your organization. What could be vertical integration that you decide, in the case of Ford Motor Company, the example in the textbook is, they went out and bought the company that made the radios that were going into their car. Doesn't seem like it would have any relationship to their core competency, but they were having a quality issue, and they wanted to be in control of the quality. So they went out and bought the company.
I think a lot of airlines own oil refineries of their own.
You know what an airline does?
No, I said some airlines
Some
do.
airlines do. That makes sense. Control the supply.
Burn off fuel.
Makes sense. Balanced scorecard refers to both lagging and leading measures. measure would be an outcome. A leading measure would be a predictor, and I'll give you an example. When we say there's a relationship between customer satisfaction, we say good customer satisfaction is an indicator that we will have retention of those customers. So that's a relationship between customer satisfaction and retention. Another would be employee satisfaction and turnover. Your employee satisfaction would be a leading indicator. The lagging indicator would be your measurement of employee turnover. On a balanced scorecard attempts to measure the relationship between both leading and lagging measures.
You said lagging was outcome and leading, what was leading?
Predictor.
Predictor.
Any questions on chapter 5? Should we move on? Good with that? Everybody okay? Pace okay?
Yep.
Matt says yes, sir. That's good.
Basketball.
I could feel it. Chapter 6, customer engagement. If you're, okay, remember we said satisfaction is an attitude, loyalty is a behavior? Remember that? That was a really good class we had that day.
Which one?
Satisfaction, the day we talked about that. Satisfaction is an attitude, but loyalty is a behavior. Well, if a customer is engaged, then you're able to measure loyalty. And you're able to say that they are not only satisfied, but that's translated into a long-term relationship. And an engaged customer goes even a step further and says that they're willing to be an advocate for you. Recommend you. Proactively. And behind the scenes. Suppliers and the supply chain. Let me see what we. Trying to remember. Oh, supply chain includes materials and other inputs purchased from outside the firm. Includes both goods and services.
One more time?
Includes, the point is it includes both goods and services, that it's materials and services that are used in producing your goods and services. They come from outside the firm. Experience immersion. When someone goes out and performs typical customer activities, I believe the example in the textbook was someone that went out and spent a day in a wheelchair so that they could make sure that their facility was comfortable and accessible for people with disabilities. And it's personally going out and having an experience so that you can relate that back to your ability to meet customer needs.
You said
Yeah,
perform
thanks, Suzanne.
typical customer.
Activities,
Let's see.
like if you, for example, the bank president spends a day in the wheelchair, goes up to a teller window, sees from a wheelchair how easy it is to do business, to cash that check or whatever it is.
Okay.
somebody said that they wanted so many flavors other than vanilla and ice cream. But when they went and ordered at the store, they typically ordered vanilla. So it's an attempt to measure, if you will, the difference between what people tell you they want and what their behavior actually is.
So measure not just what they want, but what the behavior is?
Yeah, measure is to see if there's consistency between what they tell you they want and how they behave. They also found in this same study, which I think is interesting, that all these people that diet during the week, you know, you think, well, okay, they want low-fat versions of our, you know, non-fat frozen yogurt available. And they found that wasn't true. Because these people that worked out hard and really took care of themselves, when they had ice cream by golly on the weekend, they want the real stuff, right? So it's just an attempt to say, is there some consistency between what they tell us and their actual behavior? Quality function deployment is what? You remember one thing about quality function deployment, what do you remember?
Voice of the customer.
Thank you. Yeah. It's translating customer needs into product features. Integrated bargaining. It's what we refer to as principled negotiation. And what we mean by principled negotiation is that both parties understand that in order to be successful, you want to create a win-win environment. You don't want to go in there and say, well, if I win, that means that someone else loses. Both parties want to be profitable or successful. Moment of truth is your interaction, that moment when you interact with a customer. It can be here at Western. Your happiness with the advising process is only as good as your most recent visit with your advisor, right? If it was good, you feel pretty good about it. If it was frustrating, you're pretty frustrated about it. So it says that's the moment of truth that you have, is that most recent experience or interaction with the organization. Service standards are measurable performance levels or expectations. A service standard might be, I want every phone call that comes into the company answered before 3 rings. That might be your service standard.
Measurable what?
Performance levels and expectations.
Thank you.
Say that again, Morgan.
Measurable performance levels of expectations.
Or expectations.
Or expectations.
Yeah. CRM. Matt, Lisa, what's CRM?
Yeah.
It's software. It's software that we use to track our behavior, loyalty. It's the idea is to help you be more profitable and streamline communication. So it's a method of retaining information on your customer interactions. Tell them you need to have fun. Okay, Net Promoter Score. Actually, probably need that. That's how we measure loyalty and engagement. Some of you guys have created surveys for marketing and other classes, and you've used something called a Likert scale that you would use in you know,
AT&T.
your phone service provider somewhere that they would just stand and answer.
They send you
put
10
questions
text
for an
messages
hour.
afterwards.
Unless you're mad.
eBay does that
When
once
we
in a while.
talked about calling function deployment, and you said, what's the one thing you can remember, and John said something, what was that?
And
Voice
voice
of the
Voice of the customer.
Voice of the customer.
Yeah, that always starts with understanding exactly what your customer wants, and then how do you translate that into product specification. Right now, you all are feeling really good about this 10:30.
So far.
Chapter 7, we ready? Ready to flip it over? Functional structure of an organization. That's one in which there's a clear chain of command. But you know, those functional organizations, we say, they're designed primarily for administrative convenience. What I mean by that is typically today organizations are looking for a flat or less hierarchical, unless you're higher education. They're looking for less hierarchy, flatter organizations. The disadvantage to those is that you don't have that clear chain of command and design in a functional structure. Palermo's law says that cross-functional disputes are the result of, well, let me rephrase that. Long-standing problems are the result of cross-functional disputes. For example, if you have a billing problem, and you've always had a billing problem, then that tells me that the sales reps and the product manufacturers and the people generating the invoices aren't incented to work together to get this process streamlined. So Palermo's law says that long-standing problems are inevitably the cause of cross-functional disputes. Team-based organizations, on the other hand, have a lot of advantages, specifically that you're able to identify those processes that compromise quality. Just the flip side to that. You're able, in a team-based environment that says, we're all here not to support billing and manufacturing and sales, but we're all here to support product A. So we're gonna sit in one room together and identify those processes that would inhibit our ability to deliver clean invoicing for our customer.
One more time.
A team-based
From
organization
one to the other.
is one that you would be more apt to be able to identify those processes that compromise quality and address them. Because you all have common goals. A lot of it just has to do with how you're aligned. They said, are you aligned to support product A, or are you aligned to support accounts receivable? Because if you're aligned just to support accounts receivable, we might as well outsource you. We only need people in our company organization that are here to support products. Right? Value creation process. So anything that drives the creation of goods and services, like PAL Sudden Service, I'd ask you to reference page 299. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that. What's a core process?
It's the same thing as the value creation process, they're the same thing.
Core process is that which supports your primary reason for existing. A core process is the actual manufacture of the good, or the sale of the good. The support process might be the accounts receivable, the billing, the human resources within the company. Those things that aren't tied directly to your ability to manufacture, sell, support the creation and production of that product. Might be human resources. Don't tell Dr. Stewart I said this, but anything that's a support process is also a candidate for outsourcing, right?
True.
Unless you are directly tied or committed.
So human resource is an example for both.
No,
Support.
it's a support process.
So it's something that's not directly tied.
Right, to the creation or support of your customer, of your product for your customer.
So,
So like supply management and assemblers are like a core process.
They're core, that's
Okay.
right. Everybody has internal and external customers. Your external customers. My external customers are you, your parents, if they're paying the bill, the community. My internal customers are advising. People within the organization. I am a customer of human resources. Process mapping, we did some examples of that. And it's just the idea of being creative, of brainstorming and then trying to use it to understand your customer and your supplier relationships.
Words.
What's that?
One more complete.
One more time, just, it's brainstorming. Process mapping is brainstorming. And it's brainstorming for the purpose of understanding your customer and supplier relationships. Coordination mapping is a new approach to process mapping. And it's based on the premise that every activity requires both the customer and provider.
Every activity requires what?
Both a customer and a provider. Leadership teams, we talk about functions of leadership being plan and implement, review, but what I'd like you to do is review what's on page 310 there. So you understand what the textbook says about leadership teams.
Is that the leadership, planning, implementation, and review?
It sure is. Yep. 310.
Through that?
Understand the difference between mechanistic and organic organizations. Mechanistics are where we have a strict division of labor, where organic organizations are decentralized and characterized by very few rules.
Will you say that again?
Yes. Mechanistic is strict division of labor. Organic is decentralized and with few rules. And then finally, we say a contingency model is what helps you to plan for dealing with a complex environment. So with contingency models, organic serves you better because you have more flexibility.
more time, please?
Yeah, organic models usually are better for contingency, John, because you have fewer rules and more flexibility, you're better able to deal with a complex environment. So you're gonna email me or call me if you have any questions, Matt.
Can I get you to repeat the very first one, strategic planning?
Strategic planning? Well, strategic planning, it's just the process by which an organization envisions its future